জয় গুরু বলা, মন জয় গুরু বল রে, মন জয় গুরু বলা। সংসার মায়া বন্ধন কঠোর কঠিন, সংসার মায়া বন্ধন কঠোর কঠিন, ফিটাই দেবাকু তো দেবে রে সন্ধান, ফিটাই দেবাকু সে তো দেবে রে সন্ধান। সম্পদে বিপদে গুরু নাম কর সার, সম্পদে বিপদে গুরু নাম কর সার। জয় গুরু বল রে, মন জয় গুরু বল, মন জয় গুরু বল রে, মন জয় গুরু বল। কি ছার মরণ ডর ঘেন রে শরণ, কি ছার মরণ ডর ঘেন রে শরণ। গুরু গঢ়ি দেবে হেলে অমৃত সোপান, গুরু গঢ়ি দেবে হেলে অমৃত সোপান। মুকতি পথর শ্বেত কম কারিগর, মুকতি পথর শ্বেত কম কারিগর। মন জয় গুরু বল রে, মন জয় গুরু বল, মন জয় গুরু বল রে, মন জয় গুরু বল। গুরু অঙ্গে বিরাজিত ব্রহ্ম সনাতন, গুরু অঙ্গে বিরাজিত ব্রহ্ম সনাতন। ঘেনাই দেবে নয়নে জ্ঞান রঞ্জন, ঘেনাই দেবে নয়নে জ্ঞান রঞ্জন। হেরিবু তু জ্যোতি রূপ পরম সুন্দর, হেরিবু তু জ্যোতি রূপ পরম সুন্দর। মন জয় গুরু বল রে, মন জয় গুরু বল, মন জয় গুরু বল রে, মন জয় গুরু বল। পাহুଣ୍ଡ মাতর গলে ତାଙ୍କ ପାଶେ ଧାଇ, ପାହୁଣ୍ଡ ମାତର ଗଲେ ତାଙ୍କ ପାଶେ ଧାଇ। ସହସ୍ର ଯୋଜନୁ ଆସି ନେବେ ସେ କୋଳାଇ, ସହସ୍ର ଯୋଜନୁ ଆସି ନେବେ ସେ କୋଳାଇ। ଗୁରୁ ବିନେ ନାହିଁ ତୋର କେହି ଆପଣାର, ଗୁରୁ ବିନେ ନାହିଁ ତୋର କେହି ଆପଣାର। ମନ ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ ବୋଲ ରେ, ମନ जय गुरु बोला मन जय गुरु बोला रे मन
जय गुरु बोला
पतित पावन से जे अधम तारण पतित पावन से जे अधम तारण गतिर गति गुरु नामर स्मरण गतिर
गति गुरु नामर स्मरण
दयालुपण रे नाही केही समतुल दयालुपण रे नाही केही समतुल मन जय गुरु बोल रे मन जय गुरु बोला मन जय गुरु
बोला रे मन जय गुरु बोला
तोर हृदय दुआर खोल रे तोर हृदय दुआर खोल रे मन जय गुरु बोला मन जय गुरु बोल रे मन जय गुरु बोला मन जय गुरु बोल रे मन जय गुरु बोला जय गुरु जय गुरु भाई ज्ञान भाई कहूँ
जय गुरु ज्ञान भाई
जय गुरु भाई आज आमर 50 वर्ष संघ सेवक पढ़ुलु ताधरे गोटे आध्यात्मिक टर्म आसला ठाकुर प्रेमिक गुरु लिखिं काय बुह रूप से काय बुह रूपटा कौन टिके बुझेदेवे कि
काय भीतर बाहर बुह मीन्स आप देखो काय मीन्स द बॉडी काय बुह रूप आप पूरा सेंटेंस टा पढ़ना
भाई बाहर कर ये संघ सेवक थिला मु बाहर कर नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन को जानतु बाहर करी पढ़ी देवी जय गुरु
ठीक है
इसमें किसी क्वेश्चन अच्छी पचारती
भाई जय गुरु भाई मु सुभाषिष भाई कहूँ भाई आपण कहले मु बोधे टिके शुणी पारि नथिली बोधे भाई आपण कहले कि जो गोप लीलाटा उत्तम मध्यम अधम भितर अधम माने ही से गोप लीला को आस्वादन करि पारथिले जोटा कि देवता माने भी ऋषि माने भी माने रियलाइज करि पार नथिले सेटा अधम माने रियलाइज कले भाई टिके एटा मु भूल सुनिली ना अधम माने रियलाइज गोप लीला
एकदम आपण एकदम ठीक सुनले एटा साटेरिकली उल्टा कुआई उत्तम जो मैंने चिंता कले राति 12 बेले कौन आपन को बंसी बजे आम घर छाड़ी जीव केमती तेणु भगवान को निष्पत्ति के दोष दर्शन कर भक्त भगवत लीला भाग नहीं पारे ना जो मैंने कहले मुझे चली जाती किंतु ये घर मर्यादा ये घर आपन स्वामी आपन ये नियम आपन अमान्य राति चली ये घर मर्यादा कौन हम कल सका तेणु जापारे चिंतार सूक्ष्म स्वरूप पड़े मैंने मध्यम जो मैंने कहले सखी बंशी बाजिला एभली भाव में गले क्या पाँच क्या गोड़े क्या ओढ़णी क्या मुंडे ଏଭଳି ଯାଇକି ଭଗବାନ କୃଷ୍ଣଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ବୃନ୍ଦାବନରେ ପହଞ୍ଚିଲେ। They are being told as ଅଧମ। ଓକେ ଭାଇ, ଜଲ୍ଦି ଜଲ୍ଦି କହୁଛି ଆପଣଙ୍କୁ ଅସୁବିଧା ବୁଝିବା ପାଇଁ। ଆଇ ଏମ୍ ସରି ମାଇ ଡିୟର। ଯୋଗ ଭାଇ ଆଉ କଣ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ? ବଡ ବହୁତ ଭାଲ୍ୟୁଏବଲ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ, ବହୁତ ଭାଲ୍ୟୁଏବଲ। ଆଉ ମୁଁ ଟିକେ କହିଦିଏ, ବୃନ୍ଦାବନ ଆଣ୍ଡ ଆମର ସେ ଭାଇଙ୍କ ନାଁ କଣ, ଦି ଜଣ ଯାକ ଠାକୁରଙ୍କ ସାଙ୍ଗରେ ଆରମ୍ଭରୁ ଶେଷ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ରହିଲେ। ପୁରା hundreds of kilometers they traveled with ଠାକୁର ମହାରାଜ, being his companion. ତ ୟୁନିକ୍ ଏକ୍ସପିରିଏନ୍ସ ମତେ ସେୟାର କରିବେ ଏଇଥିପାଇଁ ଯେ ଠାକୁର ଅଛନ୍ତି ଆମର ଅତି ନିକଟରେ, ଆମର ତାଙ୍କର ସମ୍ପର୍କ ଅତି ଘନିଷ୍ଠ। ସେ ଆମକୁ ଛାଡିକି ଯାଇପାରିବେନି, ଆମେ ତାଙ୍କୁ ଛାଡିକି ରହିପାରିବାନି। ଏଇଟା ଏଇ ପ୍ରୋସେସନ 50-60 ଜାଗାରେ ଆସନ ମନ୍ଦିରରେ ରହିବା ଇତ୍ୟାଦି ଇତ୍ୟାଦି କରିବା, ଠାକୁର ସହିତ ଯିବା, ବାଟ ଯାକ ଅଧର୍ପଣ ଇତ୍ୟାଦି। Why? ହୁଏ ଫଟୋ, ହୁଏ ବିଗ୍ରହ? No, it is he. ଆଉ କଣ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ ଭାଇ କୁହନ୍ତୁ?
ଭାଇ ସେଟା ମିଳିଲା। ଗୋଟେ ପାରାଗ୍ରାଫରେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ଏ ଜଗତର ଆନନ୍ଦ ସ୍ମୃତି ଭୁଲି ଯାଇଥିବାରୁ ଏ ପ୍ରାକୃତ ଜଗତର ଅନିତ୍ୟ ରସହୀନ ସୁଖର ଶୁଷ୍କ ଖଦଟାକୁ ଚର୍ବଣ କରି ସେଥିରୁ ନିତ୍ୟ ସୁଖର ସନ୍ଧାନ କରି ବାର ବାର ପ୍ରତାରିତ ହେଲେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଆମେ ଯେ ଆକର୍ଷଣରୁ ମନକୁ ମୁକ୍ତ କରିପାରୁନାହୁଁ। ଆମେ ଯେ ଏ ମାୟା ଜଗତର ଲୋକ ନୁହଁ, ଶ୍ରୀ ଶ୍ରୀ ଠାକୁର ଏକଥା ଆମକୁ ଚେତାଇ ଦେଲେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଆମର ଚେତନା ଆସୁନାହିଁ। ମନେ ରଖିବାକୁ ହେବ ଯେ ଆମେ ସମସ୍ତେ ମୌଳିକ ଭାବରେ ମାଙ୍କର କାୟ ବୁହ ରୂପ। ଏ ଜଗତରେ ସେ ଜଗତରେ ଆମର ଅସଲ ରୂପ ଅଛି।
କାୟ ବିହ ରୂପ ମାନେ ଆମର ବଡି, କାୟ ହଉଛି ବଡି, ଆପଣ ଯାହା କହୁଥିଲେ। ବିହ ରୂପ ମାନେ ଆମର ଆପିୟରାନ୍ସ ଆଇଡେଣ୍ଟିଫିକେସନ, ଏସବୁ ବିହ ରୂପ। ଏ ସବୁ ଜାଗା ତାଙ୍କରି ମାନିଫେଷ୍ଟେସନ, ମାଙ୍କର ଏନର୍ଜି, କସ୍ମିକ ଏନର୍ଜିଙ୍କର ବିଭାଜିତ ହେଇକରି ଯୋଉ ଅଂଶ ସୃଷ୍ଟିରେ ଲାଗୁଛି ସେଇ ଅଂଶ ସେ ପ୍ରଥମେ ଯୋଗମାୟା ମହାମାୟା ହେଇକିରି, ତାପରେ ଦଶ ମହାବିଦ୍ୟା ହେଇକିରି, ଏମିତି ହେଇକିରି ଆସିଛନ୍ତି ଏବଂ ପ୍ରକୃତି 5 ଏଲିମେଣ୍ଟରେ ପରିଣତ ହେଇ ପଞ୍ଚୀକରଣ ତତ୍ତ୍ୱଟା ଜଗତ ସେଇ ମା ବା ଏନର୍ଜି, କସ୍ମିକ ଏନର୍ଜି। ସେ ତାଙ୍କର ଆଉଟସାଇଡ ମ୍ୟାନିଫେଷ୍ଟେସନ, କାୟ ବିହ ରୂପ, ସେ ରିଭେଲେସନ ଅଫ ଅନମ୍ୟାନିଫେଷ୍ଟେଡ। ତାଙ୍କର ପ୍ରକୃତରେ ରୂପ ନାହିଁ, ଏ କାୟ ବିହ ରୂପ ଧରିକି ସେ ଜଗତ ସୃଷ୍ଟି କରିଛନ୍ତି, ତାଙ୍କରି ମାନୀଫେଷ୍ଟେସନ। ଏହା କହିବାକୁ ସେ ଚାହୁଁଛନ୍ତି। ଭାଇ ଆଉ କଣ ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ?
ଭାଇ ଗୋଟେ ନିଗମ ବଚନ ପଢୁଥିଲି ସଂଘ ସେବକ 57 ସଂଖ୍ୟା ପ୍ରଥମ ଭାଗରେ, ସେଠି ସାଧନା ବିଷୟରେ କୁହାଯାଇଛି। ତ ମନୁଷ୍ୟର ସାଧନାକୁ କମ୍ପେୟାର କରାଯାଇଛି ଶ୍ରୀକୃଷ୍ଣଙ୍କ ସାଧନା ସାଙ୍ଗରେ। ତ ସେଇଠି ଯୋଉ କୁହାଯାଇଛି କି ମନୁଷ୍ୟ ପ୍ରଥମେ ଜ୍ଞାନ ସାଧନା, ତାପରେ ଯୋଗ, ତାପରେ ଶେଷରେ ପ୍ରେମ ସାଧନା, କିନ୍ତୁ ଶ୍ରୀକୃଷ୍ଣଙ୍କ ପ୍ରଥମେ ବୃନ୍ଦାବନ ଲୀଳା, ତାପରେ ମଥୁରା ଲୀଳା, ଆଉ ଶେଷରେ ଦ୍ୱାରକା ଲୀଳା। ତ ଏଇଠି ମଥୁରା ଲୀଳାଟାକୁ ଯୋଗ ସାଧନା ଆଉ ଦ୍ୱାରକା ଲୀଳାଟାକୁ ଜ୍ଞାନ ସାଧନା ସହିତ କମ୍ପେୟାର କରାଯାଇଛି, ରାଇଟ୍ ନା କେମିତି, ନା ଉଲ୍ଟା?
ସେମିତି କରାହେଇନି। ଭଗବାନ କୃଷ୍ଣଙ୍କର ଯୋଉ ଲୀଳା, ବୃନ୍ଦାବନର ଯୋଉ ଲୀଳା, ସେ ହଉଛି ଅପ୍ରାକୃତ ଲୀଳା, ସୁପର ନ୍ୟାଚୁରାଲ ପ୍ଲେନର ଲୀଳା। ସେ ଆଉ ଟିକେ ଡାଇଭର୍ଟେଡ ହେଇକିରି ଯେତେବେଳେ ହେଇଛି, ତ ଐଶ୍ୱର୍ଯ୍ୟ ମିଶିଛି, କର୍ତ୍ତବ୍ୟ, ସମ୍ପର୍କ, ଧର୍ମାଧର୍ମ ବିଚାର, ଏସବୁ ବୃନ୍ଦାବନ ଲୀଳାରେ ନାହିଁ। ତୁମେ ମୋର, ମୁଁ ତୁମର, ଏ ହଉଛି ବୃନ୍ଦାବନ ଲୀଳା। ଦ୍ୱାରକାରେ, ମଥୁରାରେ ଟିକେ ଐଶ୍ୱର୍ଯ୍ୟ ମିଶିଛି, ନା ଟିକେ ଐଶ୍ୱର୍ଯ୍ୟ ଯୁକ୍ତ ହେଲେ ସମ୍ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣ ଐଶ୍ୱର୍ଯ୍ୟରେ ପ୍ରତିଷ୍ଠିତ ମହାଭାରତର ପରିଚାଳକ ଦ୍ୱାରକା ଲୀଳା। ଏ ଜ୍ଞାନ ଯୋଗ ଏମିତିଆ ହେଇକରି ଭଗବାନ କୃଷ୍ଣଙ୍କର ନାହିଁ। ଭଗବାନ କୃଷ୍ଣଙ୍କର ପିଓର ଲଭ୍ ହଉଛି ବୃନ୍ଦାବନ, ଯୋଉଠି ସେ ଭୌମ ବୃନ୍ଦାବନ, ନିତ୍ୟ ବୃନ୍ଦାବନକୁ କମ୍ପେୟାର କରାହେଇଛି। ଆଉ ଯୋଉ କଥା ଅଗୋଚର ଥିଲା, ହଁ ଅଗୋଚର ଥିଲା, କିନ୍ତୁ ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଜଣେଇବା ପାଇଁ ତ କୃଷ୍ଣ ଲୀଳା ହେଲା। ଯୋଉମାନେ ଜାଣିନଥିଲେ ନିତ୍ୟ ରୂପର ନିତ୍ୟ କଥା, ସେମାନଙ୍କୁ ଜଣେଇବା ପାଇଁ ନେଇଥିଲା ଏବଂ ସମସ୍ତେ ଭିତରେ ଭାଗ ନେଇଥିଲେ। ଦେବାଦେବୀ ମାନେ ମୁନିଚରୀ, ସାଧନଚରୀ, ଏମିତି ସବୁ ତା ଦେହରେ ଅଛନ୍ତି, ଶ୍ରୀହଂସ ଗୋପୀ ମାନେ ବହୁ ଭାগে ବିଭକ୍ତ, ସେମାନେ ଆସିଥିଲେ ସବୁ ଦେବାଦେବୀ ମାନେ ମଧ୍ୟ ଗୋପୀ ହେଇକି ଆସିଥିଲେ ଭାଗ ନେବା ପାଇଁ। ତେଣୁ କଥା ଆଉ ବୃନ୍ଦାବନ ରାଶେଶ୍ୱର କୃଷ୍ଣ, ମଦନ ମୋହନ କୃଷ୍ଣ, ଯୋଗେଶ୍ୱର କୃଷ୍ଣ, ଜଗତ ଗୁରୁ କୃଷ୍ଣ ତାଙ୍କୁ କୁହାଯାଇଛି। ତେଣୁ ଅଛି ଜ୍ଞାନ ନାହାନ୍ତି କେବଳ ଜ୍ଞାନ ମୂର୍ତ୍ତି ଠାକୁରଙ୍କୁ ପ୍ରେୟାର କଲେ ସମୟ ହେଇଗଲାଣି 5 to 6 ଆଉ କଣ ଅଛି?
प्रश्न द्वितीय प्रश्न ମୁଁ କିଏ ବ୍ରହ୍ମା କିଏ ଆଉ ମାତା ଯୋଉଟା କଲେ କିଏ ପ୍ରଜ୍ଞାନନ୍ଦ ଆନନ୍ଦ ବ୍ରହ୍ମ ବ୍ରହ୍ମଙ୍କର ସ୍ୱରୂପ ବର୍ଣ୍ଣନା କରିଛନ୍ତି। ଏଇଟା କଣ ସଗୁଣ ବ୍ରହ୍ମଙ୍କ ସ୍ୱରୂପ ଭାଇ?
ନିରୁପାଧି ବ୍ରହ୍ମଙ୍କର ସ୍ୱରୂପ ଆସିବ ଅନିର୍ବାଚନୀୟ ନିରୁପାଧି ବ୍ରହ୍ମ ନିର୍ବିକାର ନିରଞ୍ଜନ ନିର୍ଗୁଣ ବ୍ରହ୍ମଙ୍କର ସ୍ୱରୂପ ଆସିବନି, ସଚିତ ଆନନ୍ଦ ନାହିଁ। ତେଣୁ ସ୍ୱରୂପ ଅର୍ଥ ସଗୁଣ ବ୍ରହ୍ମଙ୍କର ହିଁ ସ୍ୱରୂପ କୁହାଯାଇଛି ସଚିଦାନନ୍ଦ ଯାହାଙ୍କର ଶକ୍ତି। ଆଜ୍ଞା
ଆଜ୍ଞା ହଁ ମୁଁ ସେଇଟା ମୋ ମନରେ ଆସୁଥିଲା। ନିର୍ଗୁଣ ବ୍ରହ୍ମ କହିତେ ନାହିଁ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ବର୍ଣ୍ଣନା କରିବେ କାରଣ ବାକିଟା ଅଦ୍ୱୈତବାଦ ପ୍ରତିଷ୍ଠିତ। ଭାଇ ତଥାପି ମୋର ଗଲା ସମୟ ବିଜେପି ତଥାପି ମୋର ଶଙ୍କରଙ୍କର ଭକ୍ତିବାଦ ଉପରେ ମୋର ରହୁଛି ଟିକେ ମାନେ ତଥାପି ଟିକେ କହିଲେ ଯେ ମୁଖ୍ୟ କାରଣ ସମାଧାନ ଭକ୍ତିବାଦ କରିଅଛି। ତାପରେ ଲକ୍ଷ୍ୟ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଭକ୍ତି ବିଧାନ କରୁଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ସ୍ୱସ୍ୱରୂପ ନିସନ୍ଧାନ ଭକ୍ତିକୁ ଅଭିଯାନ ନିଜ ସ୍ୱରୂପରେ ଭକ୍ତିବାଦ ପ୍ରଚାର କରିଛନ୍ତି। କାରଣ ଆମେ ସାଧାରଣତଃ ଭକ୍ତି
ସଚିଦାନନ୍ଦ ସ୍ୱରୂପ ତ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଆପଣ ସଚିଦାନନ୍ଦ ଘନ। ତେଣୁ ସଚିଦାନନ୍ଦ ଘନଙ୍କର ଅଂଶ, ପରମାତ୍ମାଙ୍କର ଆତ୍ମା ହେଲା ଅଂଶ। ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଆନନ୍ଦ ଅଛି ଆନନ୍ଦ, ତେଣୁ ଆପଣ ସ୍ୱରୂପ ଉପଲବ୍ଧି କଲେ ଆନନ୍ଦ। ଗଳାଇ ମହାପ୍ରଭୁ କହିବା କଥା ଏ ଆନନ୍ଦ ଦର୍ପଣରେ ନିଜ ମୁହଁ ଦେଖିଲା ଭଳିଆ ଶାନ୍ତ ଭାବ ପର୍ଯ୍ୟନ୍ତ ଯିବ। କାରଣ ଏଥିରେ ଲୀଳାନନ୍ଦ ସମ୍ଭବ ହଉନଥିବାରୁ ପ୍ରେମାନନ୍ଦ ମଧ୍ୟ ପୂର୍ଣ୍ଣାଙ୍ଗ ନୁହେଁ। ତେଣୁ ପ୍ରେମାନନ୍ଦ ଲୀଳାନନ୍ଦ ଯୁକ୍ତ ହେଇ ପ୍ରେମ ଭକ୍ତି ଲାଭ କରିବାକୁ ହେଲେ ଶଙ୍କରଙ୍କ ମତ ଅନୁଯାୟୀ ହବ ନାହିଁ। ସେ କହୁଛନ୍ତି ରାଗ ଅନୁରାଗ ଯଦି ଭଗବାନଙ୍କ ପାଖରେ ରହିଲା, ଏଇ ଅନୁରାଗ ହିଁ ଦିନେ ପ୍ରେମ ଭକ୍ତିରେ ପରିଣତ ହେଇ ତାଙ୍କ ସହିତ ନିତ୍ୟ ଯୁକ୍ତ କରି ରଖିବ ସେବା ମାଧ୍ୟମରେ। ତେଣୁ ସେବକ ଭାବ ରହିଲେ ହିଁ ଭକ୍ତିର ମଧୁରତା ଆସ୍ୱାଦନ ହବ। ନହେଲେ ହବ କେମିତି? ଖାଲି ନିଜ ମୁହଁ ଦର୍ପଣରେ ଦେଖି କେତେ ଖୁସି ହବ। ଜୟ ଗୁରୁ।
ଆଉ ତାର କିଛି ଅଛି କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍? ଯେତେବେଳେ ସମୟ ଅଛି ତାହେଲେ
ଗୋଟେ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଭାଇ ଟିକେ ଯେତେବେଳେ ଚୈତନ୍ୟ ମହାପ୍ରଭୁ ଗୁରୁ ବରଣ କଲେ, ସେ ଈଶ୍ୱର ପୁରୀ ଗୁରୁ କଲା ପରେ ତାପରେ କେଶବ ଭାରତୀଙ୍କୁ ଆଉ ଥରେ ଗୁରୁ କଣ ପାଇଁ କଲେ? ମାନେ ସେ ଦିଟା ଗୁରୁ କାହିଁକି କଲେ?
ଯେତେବେଳେ ଈଶ୍ୱର ପୁରୀଙ୍କୁ ଗୁରୁ ଭାବରେ ଗଲେ, ଗଲାଧର ମନ୍ଦିରରେ ଦର୍ଶନ କରିବା ପରେ ତାଙ୍କର ଭାବ ସମାଧି ହେଇଥିଲା। ସେ ବରଣ କରିନଥିଲେ। ଈଶ୍ୱର ପୁରୀ ୟାଙ୍କୁ ମହାପୁରୁଷ ଜାଣିକିରି ୟାଙ୍କର ଗୁରୁ ହବା ଇଚ୍ଛାରେ ତାଙ୍କ କାନରେ ମନ୍ତ୍ର ଦେଇ ଯାଇଥିଲେ। ଏ ମନ୍ତ୍ର ଦୀକ୍ଷା ନୁହେଁ, କାରଣ ଦୀକ୍ଷା ହଉଛି ମନ୍ତ୍ର ଜପ ପ୍ରଣାଳୀ ଆଉ ସମର୍ପଣ ସହିତ। तेणु ईश्वर पुरीकर जो मंत्र दवा बा गुरु हवा गुरु बोली स्वीकार कर महाप्रभु श्री चैतन्य किंतु से दीक्षा गुरु नुहति दीक्षा गुरु केशव भारत आ कौन अच्छी
भाई रहिया पिलाना प्रश्न आरंभ करिया अपन जो चाहिए रही चाहिए पुन से अपनी पाखे छात्र पाखे केन्द्र संघ पाखे कृतज्ञता ज्ञापन कर बड़ा सुंदर आलोचना है थैंक यू भाई रहिया
आपण जरिया समस्त संघवासी को 1 मिनिट प्लीज समस्त संघवासी मोर जय गुरु आज किशोर आलोचना चक्र सरी ऑल द यंग एस्पिरेंट्स ऑल ओवर ओडिशा दी दिन कंग्रेगेशन हुए दी दिन आज 2-3 बेले सरी आपंकर ये कार्यक्रम थिबारु मु बहुत आग्रह डायरेक्टली आसी पहुंची अपेक्षा करती ना आसी पार न था। द्वितीय कथा समस्त माँ भाई मानकर आध्यात्मिक उन्नति हो ठाकुर भावधारा विकास दिगरे आपण मैंने जंत्र हूँ एवं समग्र पृथ्वी रे ठाकुर भावधारा विकास आपण मैंने ही करेंगे ना किए कर तेणु निजक शारीरिक मानसिक बौद्धिक स्तर में प्रस्तुत रखा आपण द्वारा संभव आपण चाहिए सब करके निश्चय आगू जी ठाकुर कृपा करंतु समस्त सर्वांगीन उन्नति हो। जय गुरु
जय गुरु जय
Kita value social kita selama ya very tadi katakan itu very hello क्या करें इतना अच्छा नहीं
भाई जय
नहीं আমি ନାହିଁ
आमिर आज नथिला तो
हाँ लिखा भी से आप वाली प्रश्न सुनी तो देखिए भाई
भाई भाई से रेडी हेली आपण आउ के जदी गाइड दे
जय गुरु श्रीजा की सिमरन की गई पारे रेडी छंती श्रीजा सिमरन और भक्ति
भाई भक्ति भक्ति अच्छी
भक्ति गाओ अपेक्षा करवानी जय गुरु भक्ति गाओ जय गुरु
जय गुरु मनन ध्यान ज्ञान तुम्ही करंका निधी मनन ध्यान ज्ञान तुम्ही करंका निधी मनन ध्यान ज्ञान
Jai Guru, young aspirants. We'll start with attendance, and then I'll ask Mukti to explain the meaning of the song that she just sang. Aditi?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Adhyasa?
Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Aisi? Anik's not there. Ansh. Jai Guru. Jai Guru. Anshul. Jeet. Jai Guru. Jai Guru. Arun. Arush. Aryan's not there. Jamu. Jai Guru. Jai Guru. Divyam. Jai Guru. Jai Guru. Jimmy. Jai Guru. Eva. Jagrat. Jai Guru. Jai Guru. Naitik. Pratyusha. Jai Guru Ma. Jai Guru. There. Sanvi. Jai Guru Ma. Jai Guru. Saraswat.
Jai Guru Ma.
Jai Guru. Sarthak. Bhakti. Jai Guru. Jai Guru. Bobby. Jai Guru, he's coming. Jai Guru. Shopi. Jai Guru Ma. Jai Guru. Shreya. Manu. Jimmy.
Jai Guru, I think Manu, I see they're in India, if I remember correctly.
Okay. No. Yeah. Jimmy. Jai Guru. Simran. Jai Guru. Shrija. Jai Guru. Suhani. Jai Guru, she's coming. Jai Guru. Yukta. Jai Guru Ma. Jai Guru. So those of you that are here, hopefully you have today's reading in front of you. If not, you can take this time to get that out. And Bhakti, can you explain the meaning of the song you just sang?
Jai Guru. The meaning of the song goes as follows. With meditation, knowledge, and analysis, we realize that you, Sri Shatakara, are the most dear to us. Everything happening in this world, happiness and sorrows, is as per your will. I don't want to go anywhere else and I walk away from you. My hand wants to touch your lotus feet always with devotion. I don't want to hear anything else other than your glory and Jai Guru Nama, and I would like to sing your glory always. My heart wants your loving touch and hugs. My forehead wants your kiss. My eyes want to see you always and pray and do your bandhana and seva. May all my material desires be destroyed and you be with me always. Who will I be dear to if you would leave me? Please bless me. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. Okay. So again, just another beautiful song explaining those feelings of devotion that we are trying to cultivate and working on to keep that. And these songs are all such a wonderful reminder of what that looks like and what that feels like, and also why we have that devotion to him, and how just with the knowledge that we have, everything we learn, it supports this understanding of him as someone very dear to us, someone who is always taking care of us, and thus why we would want to cultivate that devotion towards him. So today we are going to continue reading chapter 4 of the Gita. Last time we just started it, and we started with Lord Krishna beginning an explanation to Arjuna about his Lord Krishna's origin. And he said in that part that he is going to start teaching Arjuna of an ancient knowledge, yoga. One way I've seen this in some various translations is this chapter is called Jnana Yoga, in some translations, knowledge, the yoga of knowledge. So in here, it's going to kind of reveal, and we will start talking about that today, reveal his true nature and that's the nature of the universe. So before we get into this passage, does anyone remember how this, like the first 6 verses we had read, does anyone remember how Lord Krishna explained why he has this knowledge? Because it's an ancient knowledge. Why does he have this knowledge? And he said he's taught it to people that existed way before this timeline where Lord Krishna and Arjuna are getting ready to fight in this battle, the Mahabharata. But does anyone remember, what does he say, how, and what reason is it that he knows this knowledge, he has this knowledge, and then also has taught people that existed well before the physical incarnation Lord Krishna existed? Jammu, do you remember, or can you remind us what Lord Krishna has revealed about himself that makes it make sense that he was able to teach this knowledge to people that existed way, way, way before the Mahabharata happened?
Jairu, I can't exactly remember from the top of my head.
Okay, yeah, so even if you don't remember, what do we know to be true about Lord Krishna or God in general as far as time goes and their existence?
Jairu, we know that they kind of like live forever. They have this soul to move on. Okay, right.
So he's Jairu, right? So he revealed that he's eternal. So he mentioned something, and we'll read more about it here. He'll go more into detail here, but he mentioned basically, you see me here and now. I've had multiple births on this world. I am eternal, and now he's going to go into what that means to explain what it means for him to be eternal, why he comes at certain points, and all of that. But he basically revealed this truth that we have discussed about God before, which is God is omnipresent and everywhere and eternal. And here, of course, we know then he hasn't exactly revealed this in as much detail, but we're getting into it. We know Lord Krishna is God. So start, Anj, if you have this in front of you, can you read the verses today, the part of the chapter today?
I'm
sure.
Yeah. So I guess the first verse, right?
Just go through all of them.
Okay. Okay, through. 4.7. Whenever there is a decline in righteousness and an increase in unrighteousness, O Arjun, at that time I manifest myself on earth. To protect the righteous, to annihilate the wicked, and to reestablish the principles of Dharma, I appear on this earth age after age. 4.9. Those who understand the divine nature of my birth and activities, O Arjun, upon leaving the body, do not have to take birth again, but attains me. 4.10. Being free from attachment, fear, and anger, becoming fully absorbed in me and taking refuge in me, many persons in the past became purified by knowledge and austerities, and thus attained loving devotion for me. 4.11. In whatever way people surrender unto me, I reciprocate accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects, O Arjuna. 4.12. In this world, Those desiring success in material activities worship the various demigods, and material rewards manifest quickly. 4.13. The 4 categories of occupations were created by me according to people's qualities and activities. Although I am the creator of the system, no need to be the non-doer and eternal. And 4.14. Activities do not taint me, nor do I desire the fruits of action. One who knows me in this way is never bound by the karmic reactions of work. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru. So before we start to go any of this, does anyone have any questions? If not, we'll just go again as we always do, verse by verse. So in this first verse, verse 7 in chapter 4, when does Lord Krishna manifest if he has had many births on earth? At what point does he see fit, or has he come to this earth? Sanji, when does Lord Krishna or God manifest on earth?
Guru, Lord Krishna comes when bad things are occurring, or when people are in need of his assistance. Guru.
Yeah, you're right. So he comes in times where people need him to be maybe reminded of the right path, and he comes in times when things aren't going well in the world. So he says unrighteousness. So when overall people are going more towards bad things rather than what we should be striving for, which is good. So he's there. He comes in those times. And we actually do know in our mythology about some of these times. So one of these is here in the Mahabharata, and or before, as Lord Krishna came to earth. Do any of you have know any examples of other times that he has manifested on earth, other avatars?
This is Ansh. Krishna, or really Vishnu, he's come on earth in a lot of reincarnations, and I think one of them was Rama, and another one was Narasimha. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru, right. So we have this concept, and so Lord Krishna is manifested in avatar of Vishnu, who I think we've talked about before, most of you know, and so he has had many times he's come on earth. There's a concept called avatar. So depending on who asks them, 9 have come on earth, and most of our understanding, and that includes Lord Krishna, Rama, if you know the story of Ramayana, Narasimha, and there are all of these other manifestations that he's had, avatars that he's had. And if you know any of those stories, there's usually a particular purpose he's come, and usually at a time, well, it's always at a time, and in those stories they describe it, where he is needed to set the path right. So here we see him instructing Arjuna in part of the Mahabharata, which has its own significance. In the Ramayana, he came at a time where that Lord Rama, and we can see that in a lot of stories, he shows us and teaches us a lot about what it means to do our duties correctly. And so in all of these forms that he comes in a time that he's needed. So then going on to that, so when he comes to earth in these times of despair, unrighteousness, what is his purpose? What is his goal? What does he do when he comes here at those times? Jeet?
Jai Guru, when he comes, he basically just sets the balance of good and evil. Back to what?
So, right. So he's here basically to set that balance back between good and evil, and set things back on that right path. And he says here, one of the things specifically says is to protect the righteous. Do any of you know one of the stories of his avatars where he where he did that, or like have an example of specifically how he's protecting the righteous or punishing the wicked? You know, if any of you are familiar with those stories.
Javier, one example of that is when Brahma goes and fights Ravana. Javier?
Yeah, right. So Rama fought Ravana. He was rescuing Sita. He became king of Ayodhya and was protecting those people as well. Does anyone know any other examples? I think Ansh mentioned Narasimha. Anyone remember that story? Or Ansh, do you have a basic understanding of why Narasimha came? Or who he was protecting?
Yeah. Jaguru. So, I'm pretty sure that there's this demon named, I think, Hiranyakashipu, and he had a son, a very virtuous son named Prahlad, who had a deep connection to Krishna. And so when Hiranyakashipu, who was really powerful and wanted to take over all of the realms, he got mad at his son for being so connected to God. Narasimha came in the form of a lion and a human body to kind of get out of a boon that Hiranyakashipu had gotten from Brahma to make himself practically immortal. So,
right. So he comes, and so that's a really good example, and I've seen in many commentaries of Narasimha came specifically to protect devotee Prahlad and punish wickedness, which was Hiranyakashipu, the demon. And so that's a very straightforward example of him protecting a devotee. But then again, like in that case of Brahman, that was in a much larger scale. And so in all of these Ramadars, as you read those stories, you see that common theme where his purpose is really to help us as devotees, as people try to do the right thing and get that balance of good and evil. Okay, so understanding that and his nature, and that he's eternal and he comes at these specific periods to help. In this 9th verse, he says, he talks about what happens to those who actually truly understand his divine nature. So what happens to people who understand his divine nature? What happens to people who understand his divine nature? What do they get?
Those who understand the divine nature of Krishna, they don't have to take birth again, but then attain him. Jacob.
That's right. So we've talked about this before with Thakura, which is the same concept, which is if we truly understand the divine nature of Lord Krishna, or we truly understand Thakura, is how we discussed it, same thing here. If we truly understand these things about him, the eternal nature, the present nature, we are liberated. We've talked about that before. We don't take rebirth, and we gain that ultimate knowledge and that ultimate truth. And we're basically done on earth. So then going on to that next verse, is understanding him as simple as what we're doing right now, which is describing his nature? Are we going to get it, what we're doing now, which is describing him, and we're having this discussion, is that the same as truly understanding him? Jimmy? Do you think like this discussion is enough to just truly understand in the sense that he's talking about? Okay, so in the verse above, right, we talk about he says if you truly understand his nature, then, you're liberated, never have to take birth again. You achieve and you attain him. Is it as simple as just having this discussion? Is this what it means to truly understand him? Right. And so what sort of things, like we have to have this true loving devotion for him so we can understand this and we can discuss this, but that doesn't necessarily mean we feel it or we totally get it. We have to, what he says, it's someone that is fully absorbed in him. We've talked about him, talked about whatever form that we worship God in. To be fully absorbed, to have what we've talked about a lot, which is true loving devotion, that faith in him. And when you have that true faith, you get there. But as we've discussed in various forms, various times before, that isn't necessarily a simple thing. That takes a lot of work. So then moving from there, in verse 11, he says that in whatever way people surrender unto me, I reciprocate accordingly. Everyone follows my path in all respects. So we know, we know there are tons of people in the world that have no idea, have never Gita or know nothing about Lord Krishna. So how is it that he says everyone in the world follows his path in some way? Bobby, how is it that it can be true that everyone follows his path in some way?
Jaguru, I think what he means when he says that is many people around the world, even if they aren't following Krishna's specific teachings, they still might be following a religion, and through that they're trying to follow a spiritual path and keep on going through that. Jaguru.
Right. So what he's saying here is that it doesn't matter whether you follow him in the way that he's going to lay out in the Gita, the way that we do. Everyone in some form or another is on a path, on a journey. And, right, whether they're a different religion, not religious at all, they're all doing something because he's eternal. They're all doing something on this path to interact with him. And he's saying it doesn't matter what that is. Whatever they do, he will reciprocate accordingly. So, we worship a certain way, that gets reciprocated a certain way. Other religions, Christianity, we're surrounded by a lot, Judaism, all that, they have their own concepts and how they worship and what the goals are. That's reciprocated accordingly. Or as we go into this next verse, he talks about people worshiping various demigods, meaning like the Vedic gods or Ganesha or all of the various forms we've seen. Like we go to various pujas and people worship gods for very particular reasons, like they do things like Saraswata Puja or Ganesh Puja to get a certain reward, like they want success, those sorts of things where you're worshiping for specific things to specific gods. And we have that in our religion, we have that other places as well. So when he mentions that, how does that illustrate his earlier, so when people worship these other gods, asking for specific things, what do they get? Shrija, if you worship one of the gods asking for a specific thing, what are you going to get?
Did he clarify by knowledge? And did that could be satisfied?
Yeah, you did it right. So if you worship them for asking for a specific thing, you'll get that specific thing. And that illustrates his point. So if you, his earlier point is, however you worship him or however you interact with him, he will reciprocate in kind. If you are asking for a particular thing, you'll get that. If you're, and we've discussed this point before, if you're asking for knowledge, you'll get that. So based off of how you're interacting with him, that reciprocation, what you're going to get, is going to be based off of the approach that you take and the reasoning that you take. So that, and I think we are out of time. So we'll get back onto those next two verses next time, because they go into the next section where he talks about actions and how they implicate him. And what was that? Shilpi has other things. Shilpi, when you're ready. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru Bhais, Maharaj, and young aspirants. I'm really blessed to have the opportunity to share my thoughts and feelings about this year. I just completed my first year of college. It was really different living on my own and not living with my parents. I was homesick for the first couple of weeks because I missed waking up to my family and starting my morning talking to them. I saw my parents every other week, which was really great. There was so much more diversity of people than in high school, which led to me becoming friends with people I never expected to get close to. I made so many fun memories with friends, like going downtown and watching baseball. I explored so many different things I never got exposed to before and found new things I enjoyed, like painting every other week with friends and long walks. Going to college helped me become more independent and learn the importance of discipline over motivation. College classes were way more difficult than high school classes, so it made me improve my study techniques and time management as well. I'm thankful for how pretty my campus is, with beautiful greenery and so many different attractions nearby, like the theater and gardens. I'm really glad I go to a tight-knit college with like-minded people that uplift each other. I met people who are like me, trying to find their own path, and together we helped each other out through rough times and kept persevering. I'm grateful for my parents' support through everything as well. Medicine is truly a field of resilience with so many different challenges, but I still want to keep going with this path regardless. I'm grateful Thakur is protecting me and guiding me towards the right path of becoming a doctor. With Thakur's grace and the support of my parents, I got my job as a research assistant where we analyze metal binding proteins. It's the best job I've ever had with such an amazing boss, and every day I keep learning more about lab procedures that I'll use for the rest of my life. Overall, I love my college and I can't wait to go back next semester. It's great being home for the summer. I get to rest up, spend quality family time, and eat home-cooked meals with relish. I'm blessed to be part of Young Aspirants. I get to learn so much each Sunday, such as the importance of showing love to everyone and how we should be devoted to Thakur without attachment. Jai Guru.
जय गुरु जय गुरु प्राण ठाकुर माँ भाई मैंने मोर आज पाली it's really when ठाकुर blessing we came to Asana Mandira, joining from here. It's really excitement, बहुत I feel joy and grateful that we have been able to come here personally and join this puja. So, during this Pali, it's a time to a little reflect on my own spiritual journey, which we are blessed with Thakur as our guru, and Sangha is helping on our spiritual path. So the spiritual quest for me has been from very young age, actually, from very young age. When I was, I think 6th, 7th grade, genuinely the questions about life and all these things started. I deeply started questioning from, I think, that time, and I started reading a lot of Thakur's books. By 9th or 10th grade, pretty much most of the books I tried to cover during that time, and that question has always remained. It's just a changes with time, but the questions are always the same, actually. So it remains important. I was there is a story goes like this. So it was a time Einstein was teaching to the advanced students who are taking physics, and in the first year a batch came and he gave the exam, and the exam went. So these kids were studying, and the next when they were in the 4th year, he was also taking their exam. So his assistant, who was giving, he gave him the question, and he went and distributed. Before distributing, he looked at it. He said, "Sir, did you wrongly give the same question paper again? I remember this was the question paper you gave before." Einstein being Einstein, he thought maybe he just forgot. Einstein said, "No. This time around the answers have changed." So it's a very powerful thing that the questions remain same. Actually, the questions remain same, but the answers are changing. For me, these answers have always been changing. One day, the fundamental questions: who am I? What do I want? What's my purpose in life? And when I die, these questions are always there, but it is coming up with different answers each time over the period. And I do not know whether it is better or anything, but it's always changing. That answers are changing, and probably you are right. It is more transcendental in some way. And where it ends, I have no idea, but it's keeping on coming in many different ways. So where I am today, is at some point all of us grow that way in Thakur's family, that you do everything Thakur as the center, and everything you do in your life, Thakur is at the center. For me, it's going in a different way. The center is now everywhere. So, at some point I was trying to, looking at everything to Thakur. Now Thakur in everything. So wherever go, whatever I do right now, the way my life going is a lot of travel, a lot of things. I don't know where I'm staying at night, where I'm sleeping, what time I'm eating. Lot of disorder is happening, but in that disorder there is also a order. There is a touch of Thakur in different ways. Actually, it has been pretty exciting, exhilarating, sometimes stressful, sometimes exhausting. But at the same time, I'm more happy and joyous, and it's different, and that's so. The questions are same, as I said, but the answers are keeping on changing. So, with this, I end my Bhav Vinimaya. Joy Guru.
जय गुरु प्राणर ठाकुर समस्त माँ भाई और पिला माने आज मोर संघपाली भाव विनिमय सेवा अच्छी आज आम आसन मंदिर पूजा जॉइन कर ठाकुर कृपा आज भाव विनिमय ये कहबी जे ठाकुर जो 3टा जिनस आम एक्सपेक्ट कर सनातन धर्मर प्रचार सत्शिक्षार विस्तार और शिव ज्ञान जीव सेवा बेले बेले निज सब क्वेश्चन करे जे जो लाइफस्टाइल जमी बंचुची ये 3टा जिनस ठाकुर हो पारे ना हो पारनी अलमोस्ट सब बेले आंसर आसे ना हो पारनी सो ठाकुर पाखे प्रार्थना करमती सब बेले माने प्रति काम कला बेले जमी ठाकुर मन रुहतु आ ठाकुर आदर्श रक्षा करके जीवन अतिबाहित करी से गोटे जिनस मु चेष्टा सब करे जे नाम जप सब करिया जोटा कि हेल्प करे एटलिस्ट ठाकुर कथा सब मन पकाइबी कारण जिते दायित्व कर्तव्य कला बेले भी जदि ठाकुर सब मन रही से ठाकुर काम कनसीडर हम सो मु सब चेष्टा करे आ ठाकुर पाखे प्रार्थना करुँपरी ठाकुर आदर्श मु सब रक्षा करी केबे भी ठाकुर आदर्श चित जमी न हुई जय गुरु श्री श्री ठाकुर मध्याह्न भोग पूजा कर निमंत्रण कर समस्त भक्त मानक प्रसाद सेवन निमंत्रण संध्या पूजा श्री श्री ठाकुर निमंत्रण कर 6:30 बेले ईस्टर्न टाइम जय
Jai Guru, I invite Sri Sri Thakur, Bhais, Maas, and all the young aspirants to the next Sangha session on Sunday, June 3rd. Jai Guru.
Jai Guru, the minimum of the day, I think that's it. Now, something like this. The music man, you say something like this. You say, the beginning of the hand to be, application being a little bit of you can take it, no, actually, now I think actually, the beginning of the master,
सोनिया माँ अच्छा दीट कह दियो नॉली होता कर दे
जय गुरु भाई मोनालिसा माँ कौची
हम निमंत्रण करूँ तो जय गुरु निमंत्रण
मो वॉइस सुबुची की मते जय गुरु श्री श्री ठाकुर भाई माँ यंग एस्पिरेंट्स मानकु मो नेक्स्ट संघ पूजा पारी इनविटेशन करुची जय गुरु
जय गुरु प्राण ठाकुर भाई और पिला माने आज संघ पूजा जहाँ किसी त्रुटि विच्युति होइथिबो सेति ठाकुर पाखे आपण समस्त पाखे क्षमा भिक्षा करूँ जय गुरु
Jai Guru, I'd like to beg for forgiveness to Jai Guru Shri Shri Thakura, all Bhais, Maas, and young aspirants. I totally missed that I had a Vaya Pratana today, and going forward, I will definitely make sure to double check to not make the mistake again, but beg for forgiveness from Shri Shri Thakura and all the Bhais, Maas, and young aspirants. Jai Guru.
जय गुरु। दयामय श्री चरणी एहि निवेदन दयामय श्री चरणी एहि निवेदन निरंतर करिबे स्मरण निरंतर करिबे स्मरण एहा छड़ा न रहिबा इतर कामना एहा छड़ा न रहिबा इतर कामना एहि मात्र भिक्षा मोर इतिकी प्रार्थना एहि मात्र भिक्षा मोर इतिकी प्रार्थना तुमे प्रभु मोहि दास एहि अहंकार तुमे प्रभु मोहि दास एहि अहंकार एकमात्र जीव प्रबल संस्कार प्रभु एकमात्र जीव प्रबल संस्कार एथि लगी जेबे काले तमिले मुखती एथि लगी जेबे काले तमिले मुखती तथापि रखिबी मने अनंत ध्रुपति प्रभु तथापि रखिबी मने अनंत ध्रुपति तुम्हारी दृष्टि भीतरे तुम्हारी जगते तुम्हारी दृष्टि भीतरे तुम्हारी जगते पढ़िथिबी जहि ताहि तुम्हारी इंगिते प्रभु पढ़िथिबी जहि ताहि तुम्हारी इंगिते ध्वंस परे रचनर अभिनव रूप ध्वंस परे रचनर अभिनव रूप देखी देखी आसी जीव असल स्वरूप प्रभु देखी देखी आसी जीव असल स्वरूप मिलाई न पारे जेबे तब यंत्रेश्वर मिलाई न पारे जेबे तब यंत्रेश्वर तब नमे बाई जीवी भंगा बिना मोर प्रभु तब नमे बाई जीवी भंगा बिना मोर सुनो मानो सुनो की थिब अहंकार सुनो मानो सुनो की थिब अहंकार तुम्ही प्रभु मोहि दास एतेकी संस्कार प्रभु तुम्ही प्रभु मोहि दास एतेकी संस्कार प्रेममय श्री चरणे करे निवेदन प्रेममय श्री चरणे करे निवेदन प्रेममय श्री चरणे करे निवेदन
প্রেমময় শ্রীচরণে করি নিবেদন তুম জয় গাউথিবি সারা জীবন প্রভু তুম জয় গাউথিবি সারা জীবন জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় 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 জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয়
জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় 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 গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় গুরু জয় জয় Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Jai 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 Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Shri ठाकुर Brahmanand Gopal Shri Guru Maharaj Jai Jai Guru Jai Guru Jai Guru
ବୋଧେ ଜୟଗୁରୁ କଥା ଶୁଣା ଯାଉନି ବୋଧେ ଆପଣଙ୍କର ଶୁଣା ଯାଉନି
ଜୟଗୁରୁ ଭାଇ ଆପଣ ସ୍ପିକର ଫୋନ ରୁ କଥା ହେଲା ବେଳକୁ କିଛି ଶୁଭୁନି ବ୍ରଜ ଭାଇ ମାନେ ସଭ୍ୟତା ସେମିତି କିଛି ଶୁଭୁ ନଥିଲା ଭଲରେ
ଭାଇ ବର୍ତ୍ତମାନ ଶୁଭୁଛି
ହଁ ଏବେ ବେଟର ହେଲା
ଆଚ୍ଛା ହଉ ସେ କଣ ଏଠି ସେ ଆମର ସୁବ୍ରତ ଭାଇ ବ୍ଲୁଟୁଥ ଲଗେଇ ଦେଇଥିଲୁ ତ ସେଥିପାଇଁ ମୋତେ ଟିକେ ବେଶୀ ଅଧିକା ପ୍ରୋବ୍ଲେମ ହଉଥିଲା ସରି ଆଚ୍ଛା ଠିକ ଅଛି ହଉ ତ ଆମ ସମ୍ମିଳନୀ ଆମର ମାତ୍ର 4ଟା ୱିକେଣ୍ଡ ରହିଲା ମଝିରେ ତ 4th ୱିକେଣ୍ଡ ଟା ଜୟଦେବ ସେବା ଶିକ୍ଷାର୍ଥୀ ମଣ୍ଡଳ କ୍ଲାସ ଆରମ୍ଭ ତ ସେଇଟା ବେଶ ମାନେ ଦୌଡ଼ା ଦରକାର ଯିବ ବେଶୀ କାମ କରିହବନି ସେଦିନ ଆଉ ମଝିରେ 3ଟା ୱିକେଣ୍ଡ ତେଣୁ ଟିକେ ସମ୍ମିଳନୀ ବିଷୟରେ ଡିସ୍କସନ କରିବା ପ୍ଲିଜ ବିୟର ୱିଥ୍ ମି ଆମର ପ୍ରଥମ କଥା again ମାନେ I am inviting everybody each of you please do come to ସମ୍ମିଳନୀ ଏଇଟା ଠାକୁରଙ୍କର ପ୍ରାଣପ୍ରିୟ ଅନୁଷ୍ଠାନ ସେ ଶ୍ରୀମୁଖରେ ନିଜେ କହିଛନ୍ତି ବ୍ୟକ୍ତ କରିଛନ୍ତି ସେ ଆଦେଶ ମଧ୍ୟ ଦେଇଛନ୍ତି ଯେ ସବୁ ମାନେ ଅତିକ୍ରମେ ସମ୍ମିଳନୀ ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବେ ଆସିବ ପ୍ରଥମ କଥା ଦ୍ୱିତୀୟ କଥା କହି ଆସୁଛି ଯେ ଯୋଉମାନେ ଆସୁଛନ୍ତି ନିଶ୍ଚିତ ଭାବରେ କିଛି ସେବା ନେବେ ସମ୍ମିଳନୀଟା ଆମର ସମ୍ମିଳନୀ आम ये आसुँच सेवा करने सेवानंद उपलब्धि करने तो समस्ते किसी ना कि सेवा नहीं छोटे सेवा हो माने अपसेवा हो किसी ने। अच्छा तृतीय कथा जो मैंने आसिया को भावुंट प्लीज रेजिस्टर आप रेजिस्टर न कले जापर केते एस्टिमेट हम कौन हम केते माने प्रसाद रंधा हम भोग प्रसाद हम केते होटेल रूम बुक करा आम कि जापर नहीं तो दयाकोरी रेजिस्ट्रेशन करूँ सो दैट विल नो विल सम एस्टिमेट। आउ गोटे कथा जे जो मैंने फ्लाए करुँच आपण फ्लाइट टाइम दिंतु रेजिस्ट्रेशन जानते गला थरक आम डिस्कसन पीसी डिस्कसन करके डिसीजन नहीं जे आम पिकअप सेवा प्रोवाइड करूँ ना बर्तमान निजे निजे मैंने व्यवस्था आसवे तो जब आप फ्लाइट इनफर्मेशन दौरान जो मैंने फ्लाए करुँच से जापर से समय आउ किए आसूसी तो दे कैन नो मिसिकी मैंने दे कैन शेयर द कैब मैंने आपण सुविधा हम जो मैंने आस मुझे लैंड कर मोर अध घंटा भर भाई की लैंड कर तो आई कैन वेट फॉर हिम एंड वी कैन जस्ट शेयर से करूँ टे। अच्छा तापर जल्दी आम सेवा उपर पलैबा डिस्कसन करदे।